Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, Attorney Maria Oria, C. Bobunao, Commission on Elections Comelec Albay Provincial Election Supervisor 4, urged all youth and adults to register for the upcoming national, local, and barangay elections. Comelec called the attention of all youth ages 18 and older and adults who are not yet registered to participate and exercise their right to vote. Bunao also announced the Register Anywhere project at SM Legazpi for the whole month of February, catering to voters who wish to register but are currently residing far away from their hometowns. In other story, Governor Edsel Greg swiftly convened with high-ranking officials from the health sector in Albay to address the issues pertaining to recent discoveries and identified deficiencies in the province's hospitals. This follows after the governor's surprise visit to the Josefina Belmonte Duran Albay Provincial Hospital, JB in the city of Ligao last week. Lagman emphasized the importance of discussing solutions to the discovered problems and initial shortages in the hospitals, particularly regarding hospital administration. Present at the emergency meeting were Department of Health, DOH USEC, and RDROV Dr. Nestor Santiago, Bicol Regional Hospital and Medical Center BRHMC Director Dr. Eric Raburar, Attorney April, Dr. Rimpilio, and Dr. Garay. In other news, at least 100 public high school students who were found to be severely stunted and with poor literacy and numeracy abilities were selected to benefit from the feeding program of the Department of Education, DepEd. The DepEd program, to be implemented in Anislag National High School, is funded under the Feeding for Learning project of the Augmenting Schools Performance Indicators as a result of education, or otherwise known as ASPIRE. Aside from the feeding activities, the beneficiaries will also be supported to sustain the improvement in their nutrition and academic performance through the learning sessions on food processing and other related topics. In the national scene, the National Bureau of Investigation on Tuesday said it was coordinating with other agencies for an investigation into the recent bomb threat on government offices. The NBI, in a statement, said it was collaborating with the Japan Police Attaché and other law enforcement agencies to evaluate the bomb threat made by a certain Takahiro Karawaza. The agency noted that Karawaza has been associated with previous bomb threats across the different countries. According to the NBI, the same individual issued a bomb threat on the MRT system last September 8, 2023. The NBI and the Justice Department said they were taking bomb threats extremely serious and will be dealt with accordingly in full compliance with the law. In other story, Vice President Sara Duterte on Monday said her plans for the next elections are still unpredictable as of this time. The 2025 midterm elections is for the election of senators, congressmen, and local government officials, while the 2028 national elections is for the election of the next president, which also ends Duterte's term for vice president. In a speech in an event in Barangay Bago Galera, Davao City in January, Duterte announced that she would run for public office in the next election. In other news, the head of the Food and Drug and FDA on Tuesday said he is very much open to grant a permit for the commercial use of medical marijuana should lawmakers come up with a law for its legal use. Philippine lawmakers have long been debating on whether or not to use cannabis for some patients, but have yet to come up with a resolution on the medical use of the addictive substance. Last year, a House panel tackled some 9 legislative bills seeking to legalize medical cannabis for treatment of ailments in the Philippines. And in the news outside the country, Donald Trump on Monday asked the U.S. Supreme Court to put on hold a judicial decision rejecting his claim that he is immune from being prosecuted for trying to overturn his 2020 election loss, arguing that without such a shield, the presidency as we know it will cease to exist. Trump, seeking to regain the presidency in the November 5 U.S. election, asked the justices to pause a February 6 ruling by a 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, rejecting his claim of immunity from prosecution. Trump's lawyers, in a brief to the Supreme Court, warned that conducting a months-long criminal trial of President Trump at the height of election season will radically disrupt President Trump's ability to campaign against President Joe Biden ahead of the election. In other news, International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan said on Monday he was deeply concerned about reports of bombardment and potential ground incursion by Israeli forces in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Khan posted on X after airstrike in a city that is the last refuge of about 1 million displaced civilians. The prosecutor said the court was actively investigating any crimes allegedly committed in Gaza and that those who are in breach of the law will be held accountable. He later said that half of the population of Gaza is currently concentrated around Rafah, reportedly 6 times its normal concentration. Israel is not a member of the Hague-based court and does not recognize its jurisdiction. But Khan said in October his court had jurisdiction over any potential war crimes carried out by Hamas Palestinian militants in Israel and by Israelis in the Gaza Strip. And finally, in the news outside the country, U.S. President Joe Biden met Jordan's King Abdullah at the White House, coming face-to-face with a longtime ally who has been vocal in calling for a Gaza ceasefire. The two leaders held Oval Office talks, then made statements to the news. The meeting comes as Biden become increasingly vocal in his demand that Israel not undertake a ground offensive in Gaza's southern city of Rafah without a plan to protect Palestinian civilians who are massed there. Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday, and the White House said he stressed that a military operation in Rafah should not proceed without a credible and executable plan for ensuring the safety and support for the more than 1 million sheltering there. A senior Biden administration official said on Sunday that Biden's meeting with the king would focus on ending the war in Gaza. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, February 14, 2024. Happy Hearts Day, everyone. We'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Francine Boras, and on the technical side, Chad Bobbis, and of course to our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Mary Luduca Castillo, and under the supervision of our Governor, Attorney Edsel Greg Slagman, I am Greg Hallare, saying thank you for subscribing.
Hello, this is Cedric Daep, Department Head ng Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office. Supportan na po ang Albay PIO TV. Dahil na po kita din maaraman, masasagutan, information, manawag sa mga pangaipo, manawag sa disaster, manawag sa development. Sa tuya po, dahil paglingawan na magdanog din, dahil napula po niya sa tuya tabang. Salamat tabi sa tuya po.
Hello Albayanos! Iniibitahan po namin kayo na tangkilikin ng sariling atin, ang Albay PIO Net TV na naglalayo na maghatid ng presko at makatotohanan at napapanahong balita mula sa lokal, nasyonal at maging sa labas ng bansa para sa ating mga kababayan sa Albay. Mapapanood ito mula 8:30 hanggang 9:30 ng umaga sa Albay Provincial Information Office 2023 official Facebook page. See you!